day 21 of my now past 20-day water fast, and I have decided to continue going. I was planning on breaking the fast and to start consuming some bone broth, but then after reading this book, The Plant Paradox, I'm now reevaluating just about everything. So because I'm not feeling completely certain at this point what's the best thing for me to do to break the fast and to start transitioning, I felt it was safer for me to just continue the water fast so long as my body is feeling good, my energy level is staying high, I'm not getting any signals in my body, and especially, the true hunger response, or like suddenly crazy thoughts of needing a bunch of food or something. Like, none of that has been happening. So, so as long as that's happening, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick it out and just kind of let it play its course for the time being, and just kind of see, maybe I'll just wait for my body to give me a clear signal to break the fast. But I still need to know how I'm going to break the fast, and so that's what I'm working on, and kind of doing some research right now and getting a better understanding of what will actually be the best thing for me to break the fast with. I'm now feeling like beef bone broth is not optimal for me. Part of it is just like it's primarily protein, and I think I need to break it with some of these higher fat, primarily a fat derived substance for breaking the fast that's not a protein derived. So that's something I came up with. So all right, do the other data. Let's see. So so got up 7:30 a.m. pH was 5.75. So temporarily went up to 6 yesterday, dropped back down to 5.75 again. Seems like I'm noticing there's definitely starting to be a little pattern of a little bit of a fluctuation, but I don't know, it is what it is. My weight dropped down from the previous day. So previously it was 185. Today it was 183.4. So I'm definitely, so that was over a pound drop from the day before. Over 3 liters of water consumed. Again, went about 6 times. pH of the water was 9.3. TDS 100, EC 200, I didn't get to bed till like 2 a.m., which is kind of, many evenings I'm not getting to bed till 1:32 in the morning. Part of me is just like, I'm just so invigorated with so much more energy now that it's hard for me to wind down, come evening time. Like, my mind and my body is just like still going. So that's one thing I'm realizing. I gotta start actively practicing, like pumping the brakes and like starting some kind of ritual process for myself to wind down and actually get myself to go to sleep at a more reasonable hour. Let's see, highlights of today. Again, energy was really, was pretty solid. One of the things I'm doing to take care of my body and to encourage more of a tightening and encourage more, elasticity with my skin, because that's one of the issues of why I want to do. Part of also I'm wanting to do a longer fast at this point is to see if, how much I can continue pushing it to where once, you know, majority of the fat has been burned up, that then the body will then, the autophagy will really kick in and really start to consume my excess skin cells and reabsorb it into my body, and as a result tighten everything up. That's the theory. That's what I've read is possible and that has happened. And that there's also just documented evidence that, you know, there's examples of, you know, fully grown men who, you know, were big, fully grown men, and they were like starved practically to death. And, you know, the pictures, they don't have loose skin. Their skin is actually like really tight to their bones. So clearly the body will reabsorb the excess skin because it had to go somewhere. It can't just like, oh, it was really stretchy. It's like, okay, stretchy to some degree, but, you know, we're talking like, you know, the person, his body weight, you know, practically cut in half. You know, so there's clearly that the skin shrinkage is definitely a real phenomenon when someone undergoes, you know, total starvation conditions. So I'm wanting to kind of try to recreate that, but in a controlled manner, you know, at my choice, and, you know, to stop whenever I want to, or whenever my body tells me to. That's probably more accurate. Let's see. So one of the things that I did was I ended up being in the gym for like 3 hours. I was there for 3 hours, something like that. Yeah, I think exactly 3 hours I was at the gym. I went there, and, you know, previous videos I was a lot more scruffy looking, and I was like, holy crap, I need to start cleaning myself up here. So I figured that completed the 20 days. So, you know, day after my 20th day, let me go in and clean up. And so shaved, showered, and then I did the steam room. But actually the sequence I did, I wanted to do like a hot cold therapy to also encourage blood flow and like moving of my lymph system, you know, because it doesn't have a separate, you know, as opposed to your blood vessels, which has a heart that pumps the blood fluid through your veins. Your separate lymph system, you know, it's like your internal sewage system that requires like movement to flow. It's like a, you know, and that's part of, I think a lot of people are also sick and ill, is that they don't move enough, because the lymph system requires movement for it to flow. Movement, both physical, like, you know, motion movement, as well as, you know, like contracting, relaxing in the body to then help pump the lymph system. And so one thing that helps with that is hot cold therapy helps to really invigorate the lymph system. So that's what I did. So I took a shower, ended the shower with cold water, and then I just stood in the cold water and just stood there for a few minutes, and then I actually then did the Hoffman, you know, the Iceman breathing technique. But instead of trying to do them back to back to back all in a row, I did one set of the breathing, the 30 breaths that he recommends, followed by exhaling, holding your, you know, then exhaling, and then not taking another breath for as long as you can hold it like that, and then taking a deep breath and holding it for, you know, 10-15 seconds, and then exhaling it. And I did that entire breathing exercise while standing under the cold water, which actually it ended up being very invigorating, and I really could feel almost like really like excess toxin particles. Like I could feel like something from deep down was just like getting expelled. A lot of like, I don't know, it was an interesting experience and sensation that I don't recall feeling before when I've done that breathing, when I'd just be doing the traditional, you know, laying on a bed kind of deal. Then from there, went to the steam room, stayed in the steam room 45 minutes, or so, 30 to 45 minutes. I don't know. Didn't keep an exact clock, but I would say probably it was like 45 minutes. I stayed in there for quite a while, and I just meditated. And actually, during that meditation of just closed-eyed sitting in the steam room, there was all kinds of things that came up, and it was actually really great because it's like I was taking this time to kind of like to commune with myself, and to allow whatever higher intelligence, intuitive messages to just flow into me with those closed eyes. And it was, I think, really powerful. I forgot to write down all the stuff that I saw, but it's still pretty clear in my head, the things that I saw. So actually, now that I'm mentioning it, I got to write that down. So after this video, I'll definitely take the time out to write it down and kind of diagram some of the ideas and relationships and images that I witnessed during that closed-eyed steam room meditation. And then went back out, did the cold shower again, and then followed it up with another 30 breaths. And then from there, I went to the sauna, and then hung out in the sauna. And again, this was more of an open-eyed thing, but suddenly all these new connections and realizations about myself and my relationship with drama, creating drama in my life. It became something really big. It became apparent, something that I've been wanting to pursue for like 10 years. For 10 years now, I realized it was a manifestation of that part of me that was addicted to creating drama. And then it became clear that I had to let it go, even though I had been carrying this creative project with me for 10 years straight. And it was a really heavy moment, but it was a very maturing moment for me. I felt myself when that moment I decided I can't do this anymore. I can't continue talking about this, dragging it on, making plans that I'm going to produce this thing, because it does not serve who I want to be, the identity that I'm growing into now. And so I did the responsible, mature thing and just killed it and said, that's it, no more. This will never be created, because it's not contributing anything of real value and positivity in the world. It would just be contributing more ideas and concepts of dysfunction. It might be funny, really funny and stuff, but it's fundamentally, it'd still just be portraying a lot of dysfunction, and I don't want to be associated with a lot of dysfunction anymore. And so that I could feel myself in that moment where the decision was made. I could feel, it's like my whole body and my mind, I felt myself grow into that. I could feel like this maturing feeling suddenly expand all throughout my body and my mind. And it was difficult, but was the right thing to do. Which, that's one of the things that defines maturity from immaturity. Doing things even though they're difficult, doing the right thing even when it's difficult, especially when it's difficult. So so that was actually a really amazing thing, because I never saw it that way. It was like it was right in front of me, right in front of my eyes all these years, and I just never saw it. So this fast has definitely helped to facilitate these transformations of myself as my own identity. Like as my body is transforming, it's my whole relationship with myself is transforming, and my relationship with my mind and my emotions is all transforming in the process, and it's really accelerating things. So then after that happened, kind of with a bit of a heavy heart, as I walked out of the sauna, I went back into the cold shower for a third time, and then again ended it with another set of 30 breaths, the Wim Hof method, and then and then I spent a good amount of time. I just got tons of the Kiehl's. They've got the really nice Kiehl's lotion, body lotion, where it's like, this lotion is like $50 a bottle kind of lotion, and so so it's super rich, and I just got huge helping of it, and I just sat there and I just like took my time and just lathered my whole body from head to toe, and then just sat there, with just a towel, and just waited till I felt like it all absorbed in. Especially made sure to get plenty around all the areas where I've got a little bit of loose skin area. And then, got dressed, took off. Ended up chatting with a friend of mine, just sharing about that Plant Paradox book. And then, worked for the day. Did a few installation jobs. I temporarily kind of took my arm out of the sling a little bit. I mean, I don't have it in the sling at the moment. It's over there. But yeah, it was feeling good enough. Like my collarbone is definitely, it's definitely feeling pretty good now. There's definitely a little bit of aches, little minor aches in nearby muscles, like closer over here and stuff, but I'm not feeling really much of any pain at all now where the actual break took place. And I feel it. It doesn't, it's feeling pretty solid at this point. I don't know, I forgot how many days it's been since the re-break, but so I definitely feel I'm well on my way. My toe is I still walk with a little bit of a limp, so I can't walk super fast still. So that's healing little by little. I think I might do like a sea salt bath, an Epsom salt bath, help with that. And then let's see what else. And then finished the evening. Went home, did some talking, did some research, looked up some things, and then somehow I managed to get to bed at 2 a.m. again. I don't know how I did that, but so, and again, I didn't feel any lull during the day, as I had on a few of the other days. Constant energy, and again, there was one thing I did start doing is to start making a more regular habit of drinking a little bit of sparkling mineral water. And I'm like, well, it's like, okay, I made it past 20 days. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of slack now. I'm just like, as long as it's still 0 calories, that's the main thing. So as long as I'm just sticking with 0 calories, and just to give a little more texture, a little more texture in my mouth, get a little bit of variety, because it gets kind of bland, 20 days straight of just filtered water and then nothing else. So that was another change. I started doing that. And then that was the day. So it was good. So that was day 21. So on to day, on to day 22. All right.